President Trump, Michigan last night, I'd call it a fiery campaign rally. He was in Ohio last week, going through the Midwest. Scott Walker, former governor of Wisconsin, is with us now. Governor, it's great to see you again after this time. Good to see you, sir. Do you think the president can win the Midwest in 2020? I mean, convincingly so?
Well, I think all it takes is one more than whoever the ultimate Democrat nominee is. And I think the reason he's in Michigan, Ohio, has been in Wisconsin frequently, and Iowa, is because he understands how important this region is to the nation's economy and how important it's going to be in next year's election.
I can't imagine that the Green New Deal would be popular in manufacturing country. Am I right?
Well, not only that, but
remember
the Green New, exactly. The so-called Green New Deal is not only bad for manufacturing. Remember in the talking points that AOC and others put out about that, they talked about getting rid of airplanes over the next decade and farting cows. So in a state that's heavily dependent on not only manufacturing, but on, it's actually called America's Dairyland, I think there's a little bit of a challenge when it comes to that issue. And you look at all the major candidates are embracing that far, far left reach for socialism, which is exactly what I've been talking about. We don't need a 5G network that's nationalized either, because the contrast come next year is going to be between someone, the Democrats' nominee, who's on the far, far end, who's embracing policies like we see failing in Venezuela, versus a president and a party that's really been embracing policies that have worked because it's based on American innovation and ingenuity.
You mentioned 5G. Is that the next big thing? Is that absolutely crucial for the world's computing in the decade to come, is it?
Well, it is. When I just heard you talk about, Lyft and Uber, I've got my my phone charged up radio. I use them a lot when I travel out there. Certainly 4G is important. When we look ahead, 5G is the next big thing and beyond. We just want to make sure that for all the talk in Washington, for all the talk in technology, that Washington doesn't decide that should be nationalized.
Well, there's never any question of
compete with China.
There's never any question of the American government owning 5G and running it, was there?
Well, I think there has been a fair amount of talk about this idea about at least doing a sole source, having the federal government take control of it, nationalizing it in the sense of saying we're going to go with one source. I think in contrast, we've seen 4G already, where we're at today, has succeeded because you have a vibrant marketplace out there. You've got people competing to see who can be first, who can go the furthest out there. That's certainly true when it comes to 5G. And we can do that if we have a robust marketplace out there. The answer is not to go down the path that we see in not only in places like Venezuela, but even in China itself. There are legitimate security risks that we've got to deal with as we develop this technology to make sure that people from other countries aren't tapping into it. But the answer is not to nationalize the system. It's rather to embrace the free market.
Yes, sir. Governor, you look like you're having a good time, and it's great to have you back on the show. I hope you're enjoying life post-governorship. Governor Scott Walker, thanks for joining us, sir. We'll see you again soon.